Hey, Zach, this is Sonja. Thank you so much for reaching out. So let me address your questions. I think you asked me four of them. So the first question you asked me is this. You said, what is it about working at Summit CPA that interests you? First of all, you're reaching out to companies and you're allowing them the opportunity to have a CFO without all of the extra cost. Well, my passion is business startup and companies who want to go out there, make it happen, make their dreams come true, and who can't necessarily afford, again, that high-powered CFO. I've always done that since 1999. Tried to reach out, especially with companies all around me. I have my own little CPA firm here, and I like to see people make their dreams happen. So I love what you're doing here. You're reaching out, allowing people the opportunity to do that, and who can't necessarily afford that high-powered CFO. I think it's great. I think I read that the number one thing in 2019 is cloud computing. For you to take a service of high demand of a CFO and to take cloud computing and to marry those two things, I think that's ingenious. So when I saw that, I thought, I'd love to get in on that. I've been a university professor for years and also had my sideline business doing CFO functions through my CPA firm. And I decided last year to no longer do the university local teaching and things, and to concentrate solely on my practice. And to see you doing this, that's fascinating to me, because I've also done a lot of online teaching and designing coursework. I think it's fascinating what you're doing at Summit CPA. So that, yes, that caught my attention. Number two, what specific skills would you like to bring to our team? First of all, my passion. I love people. I love to see people start companies. Second of all, my education. I've taught, again, I know businesses in and out. Not only am I a CPA, a certified pro advisor for Intuit, do I know software, but I have a master's in economics. I know statistics and forecasting, all of those things. I have a master's in taxation. I'm prolific as far as tax advisory. I've helped a lot of small companies who've gotten in tax trouble. Just yesterday, one of my small business owners, she was in over like $40,000 of tax debt. She was about to have to close her company down. I put an offer and compromise in. Took us about 9 months. We got it down to under 4,000. She's able to keep her business. We saved the day. It was a wonderful thing. I've got another local company. They're good. They're tax compliant. But the husband and the wife, even though they have a business function, it's hard to get them in there and to get them to mesh and make it work. I think what I bring to the table is I'm able to adapt to a company what they need. I know I'm good at the tax. I'm good at the accounting. I'm an attorney. I'm good at the legal aspect of it. I like to go in and give companies what they need. I'm an excellent organizer. I love people. I go in and I just listen and try to diagnose what they need from that CFO. I don't go in with a prescription. It's what you need. I just want to be whatever you need at that time. I want to see you succeed. And more than anything, my PhD is in organizational leadership. I want you to meet what I call organizational capacity. You be your best. That's what I want to see you do. Just be your best. So that's what I bring to the table. And I'm a teaching CFO. I want you to understand what's going on in your company. Don't be blind. Understand exactly what's happening in your organization so you can run it the way you want it to be. You asked, talk about your experience with different accounting platforms, software, and add about your Microsoft Excel skills. Well, again, I'm certified pro advisor with Intuit. There was a season when I was that person on the phone answering and helping them. You've seen that commercial. We've got a CPA in our software. I've done that for TurboTax. I know about Drake software. I know about major accounting softwares. I also have written CPE courses for different universities, so I know about all of that. Of course, I know Excel because I've taught Excel for different universities, local and online. You got to know those things. I teach it. I've taught it to my students. Anything Microsoft, I know that. I'm also quick to pick up on things because you have to. One of the things that I did when I had a daughter is I homeschooled her. And a lot of that caused me to have to learn online platforms. And so because I needed to make revenue. So a part of the things that I did is I taught for online schools, and different online schools use different online platforms. You got to be able to adjust. You got to be able to learn. You've got to be able to teach classes. I've taught for I used to teach for Becker CPA Review. You've got CPA Review. You got to do what you got to do. And that means being able to learn, to adjust, I said earlier, you know, cloud computing is where it is. When I do tax defense work, you know, my clients are all over the place. I've got to be able to adjust to them and their needs. So let's see what else you asked me here. Let's see, what is the hardest project or task you've had to do professionally? What was it and how did you tackle it? You know, I have to be honest with you, as an African-American female in the South, some of the hardest things I have to do is deal with people who have preconceived ideas about what a woman can do, and especially an African-American woman. And so what I have to do when I go into a situation is understand that there may be certain limitations to what I can do for a person. I can remember a project that I was assigned by a company for another company that was in bankruptcy trouble. And that company, even though the assignment came from a company out of Florida, happened to be a company that was right down the street from me. Well, it was an elderly gentleman who owned the company. And when he found out that they assigned it to me, even though I'm an attorney and a CPA, but I'm a black female. And so when he heard my voice, his attitude was, how can she help me? Well, I called the IRS. I got the situation fixed, but he would let me do but so much for him. He wouldn't even really talk to me to allow me to assist him. A lot of times I have to come up against attitudes, and I have to maintain my dignity and my decorum and do as much as I'm allowed to do. Again, I want to do whatever I can. I love to see people win. If you give me a task, I will do whatever I can do to accomplish that task. I've come against people who simply won't help themselves. I'll do whatever I need to do to help you help yourself. Nobody knows everything. You know, with the new tax laws, new tax cuts, you come up against walls and barriers. You have to research. You have to do what you have to do. I want to see my clients win. Sometimes they don't feel like they can win. We have to find out how the law applies to them. We have to do what we have to do to make them know, to encourage them that they can succeed, that they can win. We have to go find whatever software it is that's available. We have to work with that circumstance. I have just simply found, work with that particular situation to the extent that you are allowed to work with it. I will go as far with you to help you win as you will allow me, and I will hold no grudges in the process, and we'll move right on to the next situation. That's just the way life is. The last thing is, tell me about your dream position at Summit CPA. My dream position is the ability to help people succeed. I don't care how small the company. I don't care how large the dream. It just makes me think about Sam Walton. Can you imagine? You know, if you go back and read his beginnings, his humble beginnings, he began working for JCPenney. And if you go back and read his story, they laughed at Sam. When Sam went around, he asked a couple of people for $1,000 to start this store that you could go in this one-stop shop. And boy, did they laugh at Sam. But I want to ask you, even in retrospect, even though Sam is no longer with us, are they laughing at Sam today? There is no dream so small that it can't come to pass. My dream position at your company is to make other people's dreams come true. So I hope that answers your question, Zach. And again, thank you so much for reaching out. And I hope to meet you one day face to face. You make it a great day.